going on, everyone? Welcome back to the weekly roundup. My name is Manny Reads Comics with Instagram, YouTube. You can find me on TikTok as well. I've been doing shorts on YouTube here, so that's kind of fun. And today I am joined by Nick and Carlos. Nick, how's it going?
I'm doing great, guys. My name's Nick from Vinyl Casket Comics and the Vinyl Casket here on YouTube. I'm excited to talk about what I got going on with the world of comics this week. How about you, Carlos?
It's going good, man. I'm excited to be here for another week, talk comics. If you guys ever get a chance, check out my Instagram, Omni City Comics. I like to post reviews, some of my favorite covers, and just anything that's comic related. But Manny, what are we doing today, man?
All right, so just like always, if this is your first time watching, this is what we always do. We go through our top 3 books of the week. We explain why we like them, why it beat out the rest, why, and then we go slowly up to our number 1 book, and then we add that number 1 into our brackets, right? So this book is actually going to finish off our monthly bracket, and we're going to figure out what the top book of the month for January is, and we're going to talk about that in the next episode. But after that, we talk about our disappointments of the week. We try not to have too many. We talk about like comic book panels. We talk about art. You know, it can be pretty much anything comic related, but just one disappointment of the week that we had. And then finally, we reveal our cover of the week. Best cover. We don't even have to have read it or anything like that. It's just the most beautiful cover that we thought came out this week. But after that, then we finally just talk about, I almost forgot about this. We just talk about what we're excited for the next week. So real quick, we're going to remind you what our brackets are. Mine so far has Batman 119. It has Fantastic Four. And I can't remember what my other one was. Luckily, you guys are looking at it. I'm not looking at it right now, but you guys are. So we'll figure it out. But Nick, how's yours looking?
Yeah, I believe mine right now is Dark Knights of Steel, Batgirls, which beat it out when they went up against each other, and then last week was Ben Reilly SpiderMan. I'm pretty sure, and whatever comes out this week will be going up against Ben Reilly Spider-Man. So I wish it luck.
For me, I have Batman 119. And then Robin and Batman number 3. Robin and Batman number 3 ended up beating out Batman 119. And then last week, Animal Castle number 2 made it to the number 1 pick, and that for me actually beat out Robin and Batman number 3. So we'll see if Animal Castle can stay up there with this week's pick, man. Because this week's pick it's a pretty good one.
So yeah, I find that hard to believe just because I was just telling you guys, I think that this was a pretty lackluster week. So, but
it was a weird week. I keep saying that. It was a weird week in comics for me.
No, but before we get into this top 3, I just want to remind everybody, please make sure you subscribe, you like this video, share this with your friends. That's the main thing. Hopefully you have fun with it. Hopefully you like what you see, and just make a comment. Let us know how we're doing. But other than that, you guys ready to get started?
Let's do it, man. What did you pick, man? I want to hear all about this midweek you had.
All right. So look, it's gonna start off. You're gonna hear me what I'm gonna say, and you're gonna be like, that should not be your number 3, but it is. All right. So number 3 for me is Static Season 1.
Nice. Propaganda.
Makes sense.
Propaganda, dude.
Propaganda. Oh man, Static was really good. Okay. Did you guys watch the show growing up?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh yeah.
So we get some characters from the show back into this
cool,
comic series. So it's really cool to see them. And they're the villains. They get saved by Static, and immediately they're like, "Hey, thanks for saving us." But at the same time, we're not gonna let you get away from here. We're not gonna let you do what you need to do. They immediately become the villains. There's no maybe they're good this time. No, it's just they're bad. The art is gorgeous. I know the guy's name is Nicholas, but I can't remember his last name. I'll look it up here in a second. But
real quick, man, is it the same artist from the very first issue, from the debut issue?
Yeah, it's the same artist the whole time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. So he was really good. He makes it look like an anime, and everything that's action is you can just feel it. It's get your heart racing, things like that. and then there's like a message in it that's very clear what the message is, but it's not in your face. It's like it's how some people would put it. There's not an agenda that's being pushed in your face. It's just
Cool.
it's a message. It's very clear and it gets the point across, and then they move on, and then it's a superhero issue, and it's great.
Nice.
So I loved it. I really was all smiles as I was reading it. So that was my
Cool.
number 3 pick is just Static.
Nice.
I just feel like it shouldn't be a number 3 pick, right? Like it's just
but like you personally, I'm pretty sure from talking to you, you like Static. He's like when that series was announced and the Miles stuff was coming, you were really excited for it. Like, so it makes sense. Like this is a character you like. So of course, in like a weaker week, it's gonna slide by and take the shine.
So real quick, going back to the art, Nicholas Draper Ivy. That's who's doing it. He does great things. He's very active on Instagram. So if you ever check him out, like he's always putting his work up there. And lately, it's been a lot of Static work. So
cool. You know, man, I read the first issue back when you told me, and the reason why I haven't kept going was just because the first issue really turned me off, and it's because I felt that Virgil was just characterized so wildly different from what I've like come to know from him, not just from the show, but even from the New 52 time. And I don't want to sound like one of those people that can't accept that characters change. I am absolutely all for that. I have no issue with that. I just wasn't feeling. I don't know how.
That was my problem with it too. When I first issue, I was like, no, this isn't my Static. Like this is not good. But it changed.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I read. Was it they had there was like an oversized milestone issue, right? That came out before all those ones.
Yeah,
like issue ones.
Milestone
I read that, and there was 2 different Static stories. So there was like the major overarching story that led in and had a little bit of Static, and then there was a teaser of Static. And I liked one way better than the other, and I was like, "Oh, if this is how the series is gonna be, I don't really want to read this."
No,
and I just didn't give it the chance, and it was on my list, and I took it off.
No. It gets better, but Nick, what you get? What's your number 3?
You guys ready for this?
Let's see it, man. Let's see it.
My number 3 pick of the week is issue 5 of Deathstroke Inc.
Okay.
So this is a series I was very excited about when it came out because it was different, right? I haven't really read that much Deathstroke. I've read books with Deathstroke in them plenty. I know he's had a couple ongoing series and mini series over the years, and I've never really gotten that crazy into it. But I like Deathstroke as a character. I own, the Teen Titans stuff that he's originally in omnibus form. I really like this issue. It deals with, you finally get the revelation of what's really going on with this weird organization that they're working for and the secrets behind it. It's unraveled in a really interesting way. You get all sorts of really cool characters. You get Prometheus and you get like the Crooked House, and you get to see these what if scenarios with the characters, and the artwork is really good. And the whole twist at the end was really solid, and I liked it a lot, and that's why it's my number 3 pick of the week.
Is Black Canary still being featured? I remember that she's been like in a lot of covers.
It's them two together.
I find that so odd, man. Give us just like
their history.
Give us just like a really quick rundown of why she's teaming up with him. Like,
all right,
why?
so there's this organization. I can't remember the name of it on the top of my head. I think it's like Truth or something weird, some acronym. They're like the letters mean something else, right? And Oracle was really fishy about it and thought something weird was going on, so she sent Black Canary there undercover to join the organization to infiltrate it for Oracle. And when she gets there, she finds out that they've employed Slade, who's trying to like make up for all the bad he's done in his life.
Isn't he always?
He wants to finally do something good.
Man. Yeah, he's always doing that, and it doesn't work.
It has a lot to do with his kids.
He ends up murdering like 80 people, dude. From like,
Well, like this is like he like in his mind, this is his like chance to work for this organization that's trying to do something. They're like taking out villains that are like whatever, and he's like doing this because like he wants like some reason to reconnect with his kids or something. Like you know how his kids like haunt him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like Ravager doesn't give a shit anymore. Like she seems pretty cool.
but like that, you know, he lost the other one, and you know, he has a lot of resentment for himself at this point for what's happened in his life.
I feel like Rose is more. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, not that she doesn't care. Like she's giving him a free pass, but she's just indifferent. She's over it.
Yeah, I'm basing my opinion off of, you know, I've been reading Robin's, and she like mentions him, and like there's a whole thing I'm sure
Robin,
that
right?
make you know that there's a whole Shadow War coming up.
Yeah, there's gonna be a crossover. There's gonna be a bunch of crossover.
So,
but yeah, it's a really interesting story. The first couple issues were really cool. You have an issue where they team up. It's those two and Toyman, the new Toyman, using an old Batman armor,
wild, man.
Like an old robotic Batman suit.
All right.
We should have known when we saw
a lot of the, so Oracle, I think, sent her there because she was tracking old Batman technology that was stolen during Joker War.
Okay.
I think that was the time.
I'm kind of glad that Oracle sent her, because like that kind of implies like birds of prey kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And then when she gets there, the lady that's leading it like lies and convinces her that that Black Canary's mother was a part of this organization back in the day.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's very confusing, but it's really interesting, and the artwork has been spot on. I've really enjoyed it. It's fun. It's different. They go after Cheetah. They're in like this fantasy world of like cat people, and Cheetah like took over. So like they have to go after Cheetah. It's every issue has been really good, and this issue just stood out as like a really solid issue because they finally laid the ground and expanded on what's going down and what the future is going to be. And the next issue is titled for King Deathstroke. So I'm very excited to see what happens with that.
That's
nice. Cool.
All right, Carlos, what's your pick? Number 3 pick of the week?
For me, it was Mary Jane and Black Cat.
Ooh, good book.
Like,
good book.
I don't blame you, but
listen, I really thought, even though it's Jed MacKay writing, and Jed MacKay has seriously shot up to the top of my absolutely favorite writers, even though it was still MacKay and it was C.F. Villa, whose art is absolutely phenomenal, I really thought that this was going to be a cash grab. I mean, you know, it was not going to matter. It was just going to be, you know, one of those throwaway stories. But it ended up surprising me immensely. As we all know, right now Peter is in the hospital, and Felicia has been paying him a visit pretty often just to make sure that, you know, he's all right. And
that he's resting.
Yeah, that he's resting. That he's not out there, you know, like trying to go back to being Spidey before he's ready. And in this issue, she goes to visit him again, and she ends up finding Parker Robbins, the Hood, is waiting for her in Peter's room, and MJ is also there, and he's basically has a gun held against Peter, and the whole reason why he's there is because Felicia is the best thief around, and he ended up losing his hood, which is what grants him powers, and he ends up coercing Felicia into basically stealing his hood back. And if she doesn't, obviously he's gonna, you know, kill Peter. MJ ends up getting wrapped into this, and that's how their partnership ends up forming this issue. And it was just so much fun, man. Jed MacKay, the way that Jed MacKay writes Felicia and MJ in this issue makes it extremely believable. The banter is there, the humor is there, the slight tension between MJ and Felicia is there, but it hits all the right points. It's not overdone, and it's not underdone. So their team up, their dialogue, it's all just really spot on, man. You know, the pacing is great, the action is there. it's just a great issue. CF Villa's art, like I mentioned, absolutely phenomenal. He was amazing in the Black Cat run with Jed McKay, and he continues being absolutely on point in this issue. So it was just a lot of fun seeing him come back and draw Felicia and MJ again. And another thing that I really enjoyed and respected was that he didn't tiptoe around and he didn't sidestep the fact that, hey, Felicia was Peter's ex, and that gets brought up in this issue, but it's done in a really respectful and, like I mentioned, believable way, right? Both MJ and Felicia have loved Peter. He's a special part of their life, and they end up, finding some common ground. And there's even some really touching moments that are shared between both of them that I just really enjoyed, man. It was a great issue, and that's why it's my number 3 pick.
The best moment between them was literally when Peter woke up and he's just like, "Oh, it's this dream. All right." That was the best moment.
I had 2 really funny moments.
I was dying, man.
My favorite moments. My favorite moment was first when they go to the crime guy and he's like, "It's Mary Jane. It's Mary Jane Watson." Like, I was like, "What? She's not even like that famous of an actress." It's hilarious. And then the most unbelievable thing in this whole issue is there's no way MJ would have been flinging around on that.
Oh yeah.
There's no way she could have done that. There's no. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. But like,
she doesn't do her own stunts.
How did she pull that off?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I did think about that for a second, but also, she's been with Peter for such a long time. I mean, she's been an actress.
She has no ability. She has no training. She's never done that before.
Stop it. She's been an actress. I'm sure she does her own stunts. She lived in the Avengers mansion. She absolutely got training with Captain America, Mockingbird.
I would say she got hand-to-hand training, like hand-to-hand combat, sure, but that doesn't help you with swinging out in the middle. Like, that's a high-ass building. Like,
you need Peter is a web slinger.
Yeah, he's holding her.
Slinger.
She's holding him. She's just like this. Like, she's not doing anything.
Get out of here. Mary Jane slander. I will not tolerate it.
It was a good book. I will say, it went like really high up on my list. I think at the halfway point of all my pull list, just because it was one, it was random, and two, it was really sweet between her and Felicia. Like,
it was, man.
I liked how they mentioned Gwen Stacy too. I thought that was a really good thing to do.
Yeah, it was just a really beautifully written issue, man. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
All right, but here's a book that was better, and this is why it's my number 2. I chose Once and Future number 24.
Nice.
My number 2. If you're not reading it, that's Boom Studios. I don't count Boom Studios and Image as indie books anymore. Like, they are, but they aren't in my book, just because
it's getting harder.
They're so good,
It's getting harder.
But Once and Future continues the story of King Arthur trying to take over the world, or at least England. And there's another King Arthur that's trying to stop him. So they're fighting. We got our main hero, Duncan, his girlfriend, Rose, and his grandma, Bridget. They're trying to do something else. They got this quill, I guess, from William Shakespeare. That was a crazy twist from last issue. And in this issue, it comes back in because that quill is actually part of an arrow that belongs to Robin Hood. So Robin Hood makes an appearance, and he's just a complete badass. He's just like, "What are you doing in my forest? Nobody goes into my forest without my permission." And basically what they want to do with Robin Hood is get him to kill both these Arthurs, or at least stop them, or distract them. At the very least, distract them. So interesting stories. Like, all these stories just keep popping up. Last time it was Jack and the Giant Beanstalk. The giant came in. Now it was Robin Hood.
Wait, and also King Lear, which was so random, but it was
the beginning. And I remember that Bridget was talking about it in the last issue, but yeah, he was like, King Lear is just still crazy, still like in his own head, so they're not going to use him. But yeah, that was weird. I don't really know much about King Lear, so like I didn't really pay too much attention to that part. But at the very end, Mary, which is Duncan's mom, returns and like she plays to be on their side, and it's just a good cliffhanger because apparently it's on hiatus for issue 25. It's gonna be on hiatus for a while. I think
Oh,
April is when it
April.
comes out.
Yeah, April.
So that sucks, but it was a great issue. I had fun. I loved it, and I had to choose it for my number 2. So
How is Robin Hood going to defeat two King Arthurs? Like
he's
He's Robin Hood, man.
I just
Robin
feel
Hood.
like Robin Hood couldn't take two King Arthurs.
Robin
King
Hood
Arthur.
could take on three King
Oh
Arthurs.
yeah, I was about to say I forgot to mention that a third King Arthur came,
Three.
and that like gave
Yep.
me let me come to the conclusion of
I feel
Oh.
like you guys are lying to me. I feel
No,
like you're
there's-
just
No,
lying
no.
to me.
like that's why
I haven't caught up
realized
with the series yet, but the things that you're saying just sound so absurd.
exactly. That's what's
Okay,
so
look.
good about it.
Quick, super quick rundown. Basically, what happens is that in Once in Future, legends and stories come to life. They cross over into our world. And the reason why there's multiple King Arthurs is because in real life, there are multiple interpretations and tales and legends of King Arthur from classic to modern to postmodern, all of that stuff. There's been a lot of interpretations of not just King Arthur, but everybody around him. Arthur, Merlin, Lancelot, all of these characters, and that's why in Once in Future stories become real, and that's what's going on right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they all have like different affinities and stuff like that. It's crazy, and it's just a fun ride.
Yo, Once in Future was actually my number 3 pick, and it sat there for a while, man, until I read Mary Jane and Black Hat, and just because of the sweet moments, it ended up beating it out, man. But I respect the pick. Continues to be perfect art, great action, solid book, man.
I love it.
All right. Okay. Speaking of Boom, my number 2 pick, also a Boom Studios pick.
Interesting.
Okay.
Issue 4 of House of Slaughter.
Great. Awesome.
Good pick, man.
Whatever.
So you guys know I've jumped into Something's Killing the Children, and this issue was just really cool because it really now set the stage of these characters and who Aaron Slaughter is and his full relationship with this other character, and that character's background is fully explained now. Aaron's background's pretty like in depth right now with a lot of detail, and the whole like all these different houses and how this order works is getting explained a lot more. And this issue really flushed it out for me personally, and I felt like it was a really good issue, and the artwork is phenomenal, and that's why it's my number 2 pick of the week. It was pretty solid. There was a lot of really tight books on here, and I'm gonna say something. I want to tell Manny what my number 5 book was, because this is what it's gonna make these 3 mean more personally to me. Is that number 5 was X-Men, and that was one of my disappointments of the week. I think week 1 was X-Men, or week 2 was X-Men, and X-Men made it like to number 5, and then this beat it out. So that means it was solid for me.
I'm just never gonna jump on the House of Slaughter. Something is killing the children train. Never. I don't know why.
You really
I
should.
can't give you a reason, but I just can't.
Look how many Boom Studio books you already read. Why wouldn't you?
Because I already read too many.
Are you just not a fan of James Tynion?
I love James Tynion. He does a great job. He was on Batman. He didn't do amazing, but he did a good job. He writes Wind, which is a great Boom Studios book. I don't have anything against James Tynion. It really is just stubborn-headedness of the fact that I didn't jump on Something is Killing the Children at number 1. And even though I was at the shop and I saw it and I was like, I should probably get that. Nah, it sucks. And I kept walking, and then so now it's just like, no, you don't treat me well, I don't treat you well.
So the good thing about it is, if you ever do decide to hop into it, the first 15 issues are just one solid story, like one solid event, really. And then after that, after like starting with issue 16, it goes in a different direction, and like sets up the background behind like this organization and everything, and flashbacks and who the main character is. And this series touches on another character that's mentioned in the main series and like more about him. So like it's like you could hop in, like if you were to like, you know, quickly like skim and figure out what happened in those first 15 issues, you wouldn't really necessarily need it, I guess, because you get so much background information and style. Like we didn't really learn that much about the organization during the first 15 issues.
Yeah, not at all.
Like not at all.
Not
And
at
now
all.
that's like the whole point of this is this big organization that exists in this world and fights monsters. And the first 50 issues just kind of set up the world and one event, and now we're running with it, and I'm really enjoying it.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to read it 30 years from now.
No, but seriously, House of Slaughter, I was worried that it. I mean, I knew that it wasn't gonna hit the same magic as Something Is Killing the Children, and I knew that I wasn't gonna have the same love for it, but I was afraid that it was gonna be by like a huge margin. But dude, it's just been solid, and this issue was honestly great, man. I love the background. Aaron Slaughter is a great character. I love
He's a pain in the ass in the main title, and now I like him.
Absolutely, but he's meant to play that role, man. You know, he's meant to like piss you off, and you just want like Erica to just beat the shit out of him. But this series is doing a really good job of fleshing out, you know, why he is the way that he is, and you know why he behaves, and why he tries to tell Erica to do things a certain way. And you really get that in well, we've been getting that in this series, man. And it's just been great. The conflict of him having to, you know, basically hunt down like, you know, the love of his life, which is a really interesting plot point that adds that extra tension. It's been great, man. Manny, you're missing out. It's a good book, man. Put your pride aside, man. I'm just saying.
Never. Absolutely not. I'll say we move on.
All right, Carlos, what's your number 2 pick of the week?
My number 2 pick of the week, I have to put it up, man, because Saga finally back. There was a lot of hype for me, man. A lot of hype for me, and I was afraid that it wasn't gonna, you know, live up to it. And I have to say, nothing absolutely mind-blowing or crazy happened in this particular issue. But the reason why it made it to my number two spot is because it feels like the story never skipped a beat. The moment that I opened to the first page, by the time that I finished reading the third page, it was Saga. And I was afraid that it wasn't going to feel like Saga. And that may, you know, have you thinking, well, that's just playing it safe. But that's what works for this series, man. It was enjoyable. It's like Fiona Staples and Brian Vaughan never stopped. You know, the fact that they were able to jump into this world and deliver the same amount of humor, the same you know, level of interpersonal conflict, it felt great, man. It felt like home, but in a good way. I love seeing Hazel, you know, now a little bit older, and you know, starting to really see how. And I'm hoping that now her story is going to start being fleshed out, because in the very first issue of Saga, you know, she says, it's basically said that this is her story, right? And we knew her as like a baby, as a child for such a long time, and now I feel like we're really going to be able to, you know, get into, well, what is her story all about? So I really like that. And there was one particular scene where we see her take flight, and it's just a beautiful moment because it's a combination of her parents, man. You know, it's that impossible love that they had for each other, and seeing her take off in flight with her wings and having, you know, her dad's horns, Marco's horns, it symbolized a lot, right? And it made me happy, man. We get to see the Will and Gwendolyn back. I have this hate, but also I hate that there are aspects of the will that I love, man. I
Nope,
mean,
he lost
he
it all.
he killed Marco, dude. Like, come on, man. You know, but uh, and that's what I like about Saga, man, is that we at the same time follow the story of the will of Gwendolyn. We see the lying cat, and even though they are the bad guys, the fact that you're still able to enjoy the aspect of their story, I think it's masterful. And it's Saga, man. I'm happy that it's back. That's why I made my number two pick.
I'm happy
Manny,
to see Lion Cat.
Manny,
I'm happy to see Lion Cat because she's awesome. Or is it a he or she?
I think it's a
she,
she.
She
she's hilarious.
she's awesome, you know. But
Lying.
the Will, Gwendolyn, like I just no. I honestly I knew that Saga what this issue wasn't going to be like mind blowing because it's coming back, you know, and they
Yep.
had to tell the story where it left off, and
Yep.
there's no way to make it amazing. It made my top four. You know, it was the fourth pick, but it
Nice.
just there was just something that was missing, and it's literally just because it's the first issue back. So I
Yep.
don't want to hype it up too much, but I loved it. And but also emotional damage with the whole Marco skull. Like how dare you? How
Yo,
I'm
like,
still holding out hope. I'm still holding out hope that that's all a ruse. Like that skull, it's fake. Marco's alive. All
you know
right.
what's funny? You know what's funny about the man is that we as fans and as comic book readers have made it an ongoing joke that like death doesn't matter. Like
Yeah. No.
character dies, we'll see them in a month, man. We'll see them in 2 months. We'll see them when there's a reboot or there's new number one, right? It doesn't matter. We even hate when it happens because we just roll our eyes. But the moment that shit becomes real, like with Marco, it's like, maybe he's not dead.
No.
Like,
I
it's
don't.
dead.
So death,
It's dead, really dead.
death in DC and Marvel means nothing, but death in indie books, that's when when anybody died in Saga, like there's so many people that
Yeah.
died. I cried like real tears because I'm like,
No, me
nope,
too,
this
dude.
guy's for real dead. This
100%.
person
Yeah,
is
me
dead.
too.
The babysitter when she died, I was like, no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
dude.
Like it pissed me off. But there was something that from this book that I really loved. I can't remember what, but there's so many things from this book. I
I
loved it.
never
It was
caught
a
up
great
with
book. It was
Saga.
number 4. I'm so sorry, Nick.
I I think I read like 12 issues in and then never bought it ever again because this is in the middle of me not reading comics
Mm,
of
Yo,
consistently. So
if you
I
read,
bought trade paperbacks and I was like, oh sweet. And I really liked the first 6 issues, 5 issues. Thought it was awesome. I got it the second volume, and I guess something came up and I read it, and I guess never got around to the third one, the third
mm.
volume.
if you've
So
only read if you've only read 12 issues, that means that you have 43 mistakes to make up for in your life, man.
One of my main problem with Saga though is, I had to wait a whole like 2 weeks for the next issue. Like, I caught up about 2 weeks ago with the issue 54 and I had to wait 2 weeks for the next issue. That pissed me off.
Shut up.
Man, can you imagine? Can you
Shut up.
imagine waiting 2 weeks for
Shut
the
up.
next
Shut up. Fucking hate you, man. I hate you. Hate you.
all right,
Hate you.
okay, Manny,
Fuck.
what is
4
it?
years, man. I waited. What, 4
4
years?
years?
3
No,
years?
3. I think it was
No,
3
3
years.
years. 3 years, man.
Alright.
What's your number one, Manny?
So, boiling it down to number 1, I want to like
Here we go.
this is a shady number 1. Again, this was like a really weird week.
I haven't seen anything shady in your list so far.
Number 1 is going to be shady, and number 1 is Death of Doctor Strange 5. That was my number 1 book.
Why is that shady?
I can't talk to you anymore.
Why is that shady? No. Hold on. Why is it shady?
I don't.
It's phenomenal.
It is a great book, and I read it and I really loved it. But at the same time, like this is an event book. This is I don't know, man. Like it shouldn't be top 5. It should be top 5, but not number 1. I don't know, but it is my number 1, and
Okay.
and the reason it's my number 1 is because one, they kept the death real. Like they kind of played with our emotions. They brought Doctor Strange back, and that was awesome. And like the way they did it was great. Like it was really clever, retro. Doctor Strange solved the murder. That was really cool. And the whole love between Clea and Doctor Strange is amazing. And you want more of it. And then they say, nah, we're gonna take him away. Like death always comes back. Like there's always a price with magic, and that's been a theme with Doctor Strange since 2015. So
Yeah.
like there's always a price. He had to pay the price. He had to return. They beat the bad guys, and he went back. And so like that was really good. And Clea, the way she acted, the way she took it, and the way she like took the levitating cloak and the whatever the eye of Agamotto.
The eye of Agamotto.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I wasn't looking forward to the Strange book coming out. I was gonna pull it anyways, but I wasn't looking forward to it. Now I can't wait to read it. So that's like all of that put together. I was like, all right, this is my number one pick.
Yo, what I seriously love though is that it's not even so much that the price had to be paid. In that moment, it's the fact that Strange decided I need to pay this price because if I don't, down the line, it's gonna cost us, and it could cost us more. So when he like told Clea, man, that he loved her and that she was the one, I was like, you know what, I'm okay with this death not being a death because I'm like, immediately I was like, I think that he's just gonna pass down his title because the promise that old school Doctor Strange made him keep is that you know what, he needs to pass it down because he's not as connected to being the Sorcerer Supreme, and that's why this happened. And I thought, hey, they're gonna be together. Clea's gonna be the Sorcerer Supreme, and then we're gonna have both of them kind of doing their thing. And then when I turned the page and he decided to pay the price, that was emotional as hell, man. And we've had a Tom Taylor counter. I mean, if we also gotta give one to Jed McKay, man. Like he's been on our list a couple times, man. I'm just saying,
Well, the way I'm doing, I don't know if you guys realize this, but the way I'm doing the Tom Taylor count, like even if like three of us have different Tom Taylor books, it's just that he made the top. Like
that's
made just one, So
yeah,
I don't know if Jed McKay's. I think today would be the first one, right?
No, dude. You got him with Death of Doctor Strange. I got him with Mary Jane and Black Cat. Once
an episode.
That's still one. Huh? That was one episode.
It only counts once an episode.
Oh. Last time we've had him on Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he's writing that.
we've had him on Moon Knight, and there was one other. Oh, you had him on Death of Doctor Strange, SpiderMan. That was a different episode.
Did he write that?
He wrote that.
Oh, well, there it is. Well, I guess
there it is.
He is caught up. He is tied up with with Tom Taylor. Might have to make another bracket.
Yeah, maybe. Right, Nick.
Ready for my number one?
Let's do it.
Okay. I don't think you guys are ready for this. I really don't think you're ready for this.
If it's Death of Doctor Strange, then that's how you know that this was a bad week because Nick and my number one is the same. It better not
be. Because this was my disappointment of the week last week. It is issue 87 of Amazing Spider-Man. It is my number one pick of the week.
Okay.
I can see it, man.
Yeah.
After how badly I was upset last week over the entire issue. I was disappointed by everything from art to dialogue to storyline to how they were treating the characters. Everything about that issue had me infuriated. This is exactly what I want out of the Spider-Man series. This is everything that I've been wanting out of it. You had Peter, you had Ben, you had back and forths, you had him working with Black Cat and Captain America and dealing with Mary Jane and the tie-in to their one shot and him trying to get back, like being forced rehab back into Spider-Man, but not being allowed to have the costume because Ben is Spider-Man. His clone is Spider-Man. You have to earn it. You can't just go out and be it. He is Spider-Man right now. He is you. You have to go and take that back, but you're not there yet. and like the whole stuff with last issue with Ben's memories getting all messed up. You get like to see the ramifications of that and the clone therapist and everything. This is everything that I've been wanting out of. I want every issue to be this consistent where we get a little bit of everything that's going on. I don't need a shitty issue where the mole man attacks Peter in the hospital and the artwork looks like a 3-year-old threw up on a piece of paper. I don't need that for a whole issue. That was a waste of time. I don't need a whole issue of Ben fighting Doc Ops and losing. Then the next issue is him fighting Doc Ops and him winning. I wanted this. This has been what I've been wanting. This is my number one pick of the week. It was artwork was solid. The variant cover was solid. Everything about the book was really fun, and I really liked it. I just really liked everything about it.
It was my favorite.
Nothing this week was like incredible of a book, like amazing standout book, but that book was everything I've been wanting, and I was very satisfied after reading it.
And that's what's wrong with the fact that there are so many people in this creative team. There's so many different creative teams on this one storyline. So like one issue is just garbage, and then the next issue it picks up and it looks so much better because last issue was garbage, like, so that they really shouldn't be doing creative teams like that. I feel like
I do have to say though, even though there are issues where you feel that hey, the art wasn't very good, and then the next issue you see better art, so it just elevates it more. I really do think that this issue the art was spot on, man. It was Carlos Gomez, right? I think.
Yes, and I was gonna say that it was. I saw him and I was like, oh, you're gonna be on my list of to see, like, to watch artists, upcoming artists.
Man. He's been putting out some great stuff, man. And this issue was phenomenal. So Nick, SpiderMan was actually I wanted to do my number 3 pick is Mary Jane and Black Cat and Spider-Man 87. Just because of the fact that they actually like touch on what's happening in Mary Jane and Black Cat, and I feel like the whole thing kind of meshed like really well. But this was a really good issue, man. I loved seeing Peter again and us getting to spend time with him. The fact that Felicia brought in Cap and she's wanting to train him, she's wanting to be there for him. That to me honestly elevated Mary Jane and Black Cat, that issue, even more because I read Spider-Man first, and the fact that like happened and it was done so well, I think that's what boosted Mary Jane and Black Cat to be number 3 for me. But this was a really solid issue of Spider-Man, and I hope that the creative teams can keep it going, man. So.
No, I really liked it, especially like Black Cat stealing in front of Cap America. Like, she's like, hey, you got to catch us. We just stole from this bank or whatever, this jewelry place. And the whole training and the fact that, and I'm just going to say it, like, Ben Reilly has been just like a little bitch this whole time about, oh, I'm not a clone. Oh, this, I need to live up to a certain name, blah, blah. And here we have Peter Parker, who I just want to be Spider-Man. I just want to go back on patrol, but I know that I have to be at 100% before I can do it. I'm not going to bitch. I'm a little upset about it, but I'm going to go do what I need to do. Oh man, I'm going up against Cap and I'm still holding back. And even Cap can notice, like, he is stepping up to the plate instead of just constantly crying about it like a certain.
Okay. All right. Knock it off.
Step off.
Because I do feel like they're screwing over Ben, because now that we know that he's going through all these problems, or they've created issues with his memory. Like, I understand why he's the way he is and how he's having these problems. They're doing it on purpose so they can control him.
I'll back up.
And look, I was really hoping that we were gonna get a lot more out of Ben. And like you mentioned, Nick, I understand everything that he's going through, the trauma that he's gone through, him being a clone, all of that stuff. Absolutely get it. But I was just really hoping for more out of Ben.
Yeah, I was too. But now that it's Beyond's fault. Fuck Beyond.
And the fact that we got Peter, back for one issue, And the fact that I was just so goddamn excited to see him being out there, and dude, I had a smile
Made you
across
forget
my face.
about everything Nick Spencer did.
I had a big ass smile across my face just seeing him hang out, and well, not hang out, but train with Felicia and Cap, and just be getting back into the role of Spider-Man. Dude, I was so excited for that. It's kind of making me just really think that, hey, this is not the story for Ben that I was hoping for. And the fact that I was so happy, it took away everything that Ben's been doing for the last we're on maybe like 6-7 issues now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but
doesn't it just suck that you're on this high and then we're gonna get a relaunch? We're gonna get JRR's art, and who knows who the writer is? I already forgot, and it's just not gonna be good. Because he's gonna break up Mary Jane after we get this Mary Jane and Black Cat story. He's gonna break them up.
The ending of this issue, when Mary Jane walks into the apartment wearing the Black Cat costume, and it's Janine.
Yep.
Just sitting there like, hey, Mary Jane, I need your help.
I told this to Carlos in the chat. I think it was in the group chat or just Carlos, but I was like, reading this, I was like, you know what? Black Cat needs to be the main girl in Peter's life. Black Cat is it. Black Cat is doing it. She's over there living life with him. And then we see Mary Jane at the end, and I'm like, Mary Jane is the girl. Mary Jane is the prime girl in his life. There's a reason.
Like, Felicia is such a good character, man, that I'm telling you, man, she's that kind of girl, dude, that like you gotta watch out, man. She makes you doubt, dude. Like,
dude,
she makes you doubt.
This dream again.
That was perfect.
I like both issues. I like the Spider-Man issue 87, and I like the one shot. I thought they were great. I'm glad that those two issues came out the same week, because Marvel, well, I don't know if it's Marvel or DC, lately they've been screwing up and delaying issues, and they don't come out the right week that they're supposed to come out, and it messes up like the story's importance with these tie-ins and one shots. And I think the timing them together was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Carlos, what's your number one pick of the week?
Yo, my number one pick, and this is without a question, man. Like, the moment that I read it, I knew it. I absolutely knew it. 100% human target number 4.
All right, we can skip that. Let's go ahead and move on to disappointments. No.
So ignore Manny on this. 100%. If you're not reading Human Target, I promise you, it is one of the best books that DC is putting out right now, and just one of the best books out.
I'm sorry, one of the best, maybe top
100%. So in this issue, the investigation that Christopher Chance is conducting continues into who mistakenly poisoned him instead of Lex Luthor. And in this issue, him and Ice pay a visit to Ted Kord, Blue Beetle. And the shenanigans and the like adventure that they go on, it's absolutely hilarious. But what sells this issue and what has been selling this entire run for me is the buildup of the relationship between Ice and Christopher Chance. It's beautiful. It's nothing but feel good story, and the charisma that Ice has and the charisma that Christopher Chance has, it's perfect, man. Tom King is writing some of the best dialogue. It flows so well, and you just get drawn into Christopher's and Ice's relationship. Everything else that's happening around them is important and you enjoy, but I could literally just read like 10 issues about them. The art, fantastic. Like, some of the best art that I've seen in a long time. Greg Smallwood is killing it here. His combination of it's like a neon noir mixed with like pop art, kind of art style, but it's like you have this visual like experience that's just unfolding from page to page, guys. It's a beautiful book, like, seriously. And what I like about it too is that it doesn't feel like anything necessarily big has to happen. It's like this investigation that he's on before he dies is progressing naturally, and I like that. Nothing feels too fast, nothing feels too slow, and the fact that you're getting all of these characters from Justice League International that I honestly don't really know much about all of them. I've never really read their title. It's making me want to go back and like read these books because
Dude,
of how
they're
well.
such good characters.
Honestly, man, I really think that I am gonna go back and read a lot of this stuff, if not just because of the fact that I want to learn more about Ice. Tom King has been able to make this CD level character. I want to say be one of my favorite characters that I've like read in such a long time, man. It's honestly making me want to go back and again like read these stories because of how well he's characterizing them and the way that he's depicting the relationship that all of the Justice League International characters have, and how close of a family they are. And what's great about this issue too is that I thought that the twist and what was being built up, a certain plot point, I really don't want to spoil this because it's just so good, regarding Ice, went in a completely different direction. And by the time that I closed the book, I was just happy, man. And it was done masterfully. So Human Target, my number one book. If you guys aren't reading it, I promise you just pick up the first issue. Read it, and go from there. By the time that you get to issue number 4, you're really going to realize that it just keeps on getting better and better and better. And there's not that many comic book runs that do that. There's like, midpoints, low points. This has just been a continuous building of a great story. So
I got nothing to
Read
say.
it.
Man, you got anything to say?
All I have to say is that I haven't heard anything bad about it. The little that I hear about it, it's always good, but nothing bad.
Is it all from Carlos?
Yeah, pretty much. No, a little that I see on Instagram, people are talking good about it. So I haven't heard one bad review for it, even though it's Tom King.
And what's crazy, man, is that 2 of my absolute favorite books, man, and 2 of the just best books out there right now are from Tom King, man.
Yeah.
His Supergirl title and Human Target. I look forward to those every month, man, and they are turning into one of my into some of the most special like comics, or they're gonna turn into 2 of the most special runs once they're completed. That's gonna be in my collection, man. That when they're all together, it's something that I'm gonna go back and reread, and something that I'm honestly gonna recommend to people. It's good. They're gonna turn into recommended books for me, and it takes a lot for a comic book run to get to that level. So
I mean, unrelated but related. We're talking about Tom King, so that's a perfect way to go into our disappointments of the week. not related to this story, not related to your book, or not related to Supergirl for sure. But Tom King and disappointments kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But, my disappointment, it was only going to be this quick thing, which was End After End, which is a new book that was going to come out by Vault Comics this week. Either got delayed or it got canceled. I don't know yet, but it didn't come out. So that was a disappointment. Nothing else really disappointed me. But Nick did remind me about Teen Titans Academy. It wasn't going to be a disappointment, but you reminded me. It's not a little nitpicky thing. Is Wally's suit? He's got the eyes that aren't white, and everything else he's got the white eyes. So it's like, come on, man, continuity. What suit are you wearing? That's it.
But that whole series has been continuity errors with Nightwing bouncing around. And...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a nitpick, but it's a little.
I agree with you. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's all ready. I got. I just wanted a book, and it didn't come
out. I have a mention, and then I have an actual book that disappointed me. My mention is I'm pretty sure Wonder Girl 7 came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick it up because I'm very upset that the DC canceled the series after already announcing it in issue 8. I'm very upset about that. It was a series I was enjoying. Eventually I'll pick up issue 7, but it's retaliation. I'm not giving them the sales for that book this week.
Wait. But you're eventually gonna get it?
I'm eventually gonna get it in
the
a
aftermath?
back issue bin
All right.
later on when the sales from that week don't matter.
All right.
Makes
Right
sense.
now, the sales of how much that really, how much they get sent back or whatever affects them. Screw them. That was annoying. There was no need for that. I'm not getting Trial of the Amazons. Done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
me
They've
neither.
upset me. But my real disappointment of the week was Doctor Strange.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
interesting.
very upset
Fighting
with this
words here.
event. Okay,
Alright.
very, because I've enjoyed the whole event. The event was good. The book was good, right? The book was okay. I enjoyed it. My issue is that we kind of saw the ending since issue 2, and I was, waiting for them to do something different, and they're like doing this and they're doing that, and then they do exactly what we expect them to do, and he still dies.
What are you
And
talking about?
one thing that I thought was interesting was that the guy's body gets taken over and he becomes Doctor Strange just to get rid of him again. That was upsetting to me. I just didn't like the way the event was resolved, because it did this whole big thing and then it did this like, hey, here's this, oh, he's back and then he's gone again, just to fix it. And I was expecting something bigger, something more like prolific, something, changing.
I'm
The
just
tie-ins
confused
sucked,
on
except for
what we
SpiderMan.
expected. What
What?
did you expect since
I don't
episode
know,
issue
something
2?
like what's her name? Clea?
Yeah.
Cleo?
Like, just, steps up and is able to defeat this, like, the baby, the child, and she becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, like, or like magic does something and they come together. And I just thought
I
like
don't agree.
something more, instead of, oh, Doctor Strange is going to solve it with Doctor Strange, because that makes sense that him, his hands are going to dissolve him and turn him into himself after he dissolves someone's soul. That makes complete sense. And then, oh, he's going to save the day and then leave.
So you're mad that the book made sense?
I'm just
Well,
mad.
I'm confused here, man.
I'm disappointed in the way they resolved the story.
In all fairness, he didn't leave. He fucking died.
I'm just disappointed in the way the story was resolved, because I was expecting it to go in a very different direction instead of exactly what they were hinting at. Because like usually they like, oh, like this is probably how it's gonna happen once you see it, and you're like, oh, they won't do that because they don't want us to predict it. They're gonna do something different. They're gonna surprise us, and it was good. I think the whole event was great.
But in a way,
it's definitely
surprised
an
you there.
enjoyable read. It disappointed me because I was expecting it to end on some kind of grand note that
You
was
had
gonna like
5 Sorcerer Supremes take down a baby. How's that not grand? No,
Yeah, but
I'm just arguing to argue,
yeah.
and it's my number
I
one
don't think
pick,
it's a
so I gotta
bad book.
defend.
I just was expecting more, and it disappointed me this week. It was a
okay.
stretch. It was a
I
very
would say that's a surprise, right? If you expect the unexpected, but then the expected happens, but you expected the unexpected to happen, that's
screw the expected. That's all I had to say. It was a good book. I wish it. I was expecting more. It disappointed me, but it let me down. But it was still good. It was still good.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong. Nothing fundamentally wrong with it. I spoiled myself in thinking that they were gonna like do something good, and they didn't.
I'm just over here
Because
fuming.
really, the event is basically forgettable.
Yeah, no, I agree there. That's
There's
why I was
nothing.
like, it's a
I thought
shady
something
number
called the
one.
Death of Doctor Strange was going to be a little bit more groundbreaking and world changing, and have some kind of big impact that's going to make us remember all 5 of these issues because of the last issue.
And I think the tie-ins did a good job of getting there, but they didn't finish that race or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't really. You could read the whole thing without the event, without the tie-ins, and get everything. Like they weren't like that crucial. Like SpiderMan was pretty good, but the other ones are not that crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Blade was terrible. Carlos, what's your disappointment?
It's funny that you mentioned Wonder Girl, man, because that's my disappointment of the week, and it really is just that. Hey, I felt like the series was just starting to really get off the ground. I absolutely love Joelle Jones, like everything that she does, and the fact that it was just kind of unceremoniously cut at issue number 7. It happens, I get that, but I really don't think that the sales were terrible, and I don't think that it like warranted being canceled. I do think that it's because they're wanting to push Trial of the Amazons, and supposedly that's going to be her continuation.
But my
But
problem is that they already
fact-
solicited
Yeah.
issue 8. They had a cover. Clearly, the story was already written. So they somehow, I don't even know
I
if they
bet you
cap off the
issue
story
8 is
somehow in
going to
7.
be the Trial of Amazons.
Yeah.
Like,
So
like,
issue 1.
why would they cancel the series to make me read it when they could have just tied it in like they were supposed to? And they're
Yeah,
doing it. Are they doing a tie-in one shot with Wonder Girl?
So I
Uh,
think I'm not 100% sure on this. I'm pretty sure it's just like gossip on Instagram and stuff. But I think the fact that they canceled it is because of like cultural inaccuracies. You know, she's Brazilian. She's got that whole culture thing behind her. I can't explain that to you right now.
oh, I didn't even
But
read.
but I think either Joelle Jones or someone else on the creative team, they did something that wasn't actually good. And yeah, you
Oh,
can argue
I
that
have
the
no
fact
idea.
of like that you're never going to really get a proper creative team unless you have people of that culture in that team. So I think that was another thing is that Joelle Jones isn't part of that culture, so it's just kind of
Yeah.
shady for them to do that. I think that's part of the issue of why it got canceled, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
That's interesting
They
because
re-
Joel Jones is writing Trial of the Amazons.
Oh,
So
okay, then it might not be it.
I don't
It
know.
might be something else in the creative team, or
Okay.
but it could be.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
They spent a lot of time hyping up this character in Future State just to cancel their solo series.
Yeah, yeah, that is disappointing.
Like
Anything else,
out of
Carlos?
Future State, I feel like that was the thing. She was the character people were the most hyped about. Out of
Yeah, and
Future
then she
State,
did nothing. That is disappointing. She did nothing. Like she
I did
she
enjoy
she
the
found
series.
her
I liked
origin.
seeing Artemis and what's her name, Cassie,
Cassie.
Cassie,
Cassie?
Cassie, and you got to see Donna.
She was good
I
in this last
enjoyed
book.
that. What?
Cassie was pretty good in this last book. So you missed out on that. Can't wait for you to see it. No. So now we're gonna go into best covers, which is for me. I usually have one best cover, and this time I have two because I honestly I held both of them up, and I think you're gonna know which ones they are. But I held both of them up, and I was like, well, I really like the art from this guy, but I just really love the attitude from this one. And just by hearing attitude, you know that's Stormbreaker's X-Men, X Lives of Wolverine, the Stormbreaker variant. The attitude from them, she's got the one claw, like like it's just beautiful. The art is not the best,
No,
but it is good. It's really good. It's top tier, but not like my top tier, I guess. The other one was Superman and Robin special, the Jorge Jimenez variant, because that one was great. That's the one that has like the little blush, Carlos, that you were seeing that they put the blush on Superman's face. I love it. I love seeing like you, Nick, were saying how you wanted Robin, Damien to look older, and in this he does look older. He does
Yeah.
almost, look his age and stuff. And again, Jorge Jimenez, I love his art. So like I'm looking at one. Jorge Jimenez is amazing. I love this art. I love like the shading behind the background, the pose, everything. But then I look at the other one, it's just like the attitude and everything that you get when you just look at it is just amazing. And I couldn't choose. So those are my top covers that I had to
why?
pick them.
I'm in the same boat as you. I couldn't pick one. My top two covers of the week was Devil's Reign Winter Soldier. The variant was
Hype me up, man. You hype me up.
incredible. Dude, this variant, I don't know if you guys looked at my post on Instagram. This variant is really good. It's something else.
And the story was actually like not bad. I was
It
surprised.
was a little dialogue heavy, inner thought dialogue heavy, but it was
Yeah.
good.
What was the other
and
one?
then
God damn. You don't even have to say it. No,
Issue
move on. Carlos, what's
778
your
of Flash.
who did this? Is this Jorge Corona?
No, it's
No.
not. It's Ivan Paciencia.
Okay. All right. Still,
And,
Flash
and you
still
know,
hasn't gone
and
back.
right behind it was Teen Titans Academy.
Whoa, that's like 3 picks now, man.
Come on, man. Calm it down. Just show your whole stack. No.
Yeah, for real, dude. All of them.
Can I just say that this week, DC's cardstock covers were incredible, all of them.
Yeah.
Everything that I picked up was just incredible. And I wish that their A covers were just as good as the cardstock covers. Like, it's not that hard to just put the effort into the main cover. But no, Flash was actually an amazing cover. I really like the art style. I know you wouldn't like it because you don't like this similar art style.
It's
You
very
think it's
similar to
annoying.
Jorge Corona. Right.
That's who I thought it was at first, and I wasn't gonna pick it because of that. And then I realized that it wasn't him. Oh, it's variant covered by both of them.
See. That. Carlos, can
All
you
right,
please
Jorge
get
Corona
that taste out of my
and
mouth?
Ivan Valencia.
please show me
Yo.
something that's good, Carlos.
So my favorite covers for the week are I have two of them. The first one is the Devil's Reign, the 1 in 25 variant by Jorge Fornes. Yo, this cover, the way that it's made is just beautiful, man. The Daredevil mask in the background, Kingpin, you know, sitting or standing on the top, like at the mountain of just absolutely like destroyed heroes. Really sells the symbolism of what this event is all about. And Kingpin just going scorched earth, man. I just wanted to just take down all of the heroes. The white background, beautiful.
Yeah.
With the
You and these white backgrounds.
That's me. I
Yo.
love him.
No, white backgrounds though, man. When you mix that in with subtle, you know, colors like you see here,
Loud.
yo, it's just great, man. Very, very well done cover. My second pick is Mary Jane and Black Cat, the Peach Momoko variant. Yo, that cover is fun, man. This is a fun cover. Has attitude.
He goes,
Yo,
what?
has attitude. It's unique. It has the perfect, you know, touch of anime in it. Love it, man. Those are my covers because they're great covers.
Like wiping the tears away, man. You guys usually have good covers. Yeah, I usually agree with you guys.
That is all.
Y'all are ruining my night.
That is all.
No, the Daredevil or the Devil's Reign one, I really liked it, especially because it's got Kingpin's original suit. Like it's
just a great cover, man. I have it coming in next week. It was delayed a little bit, so it wasn't sent with the original shipment. Otherwise, I'd show it. But I can't wait to have that cover, man, and add it to my Daredevil collection. But yeah,
okay. So now we're gonna look at what are we looking forward to next week?
Let's do it, man.
Sir.
We are going on next week.
So what I'm looking forward to is not actually what I think is going to be the best book next week.
Mhm.
It's just something I'm looking forward to because it's been dragging on for a while. It's been like a bi-monthly book, honestly. And this is crossover, and this cover has like a Star Wars theme, but crossover is coming to an end. It's by Donny Cates, and it's very, very fourth wall breaking. There is no wall to break. Like it's a story about, you know, all the like superheroes and comics coming to life. So
shout out Donny Cates,
yes,
the genius.
Yeah, no, and do I want to spoil something? Do you guys care about spoilers for this?
I'm gonna read it. I am gonna read it.
Okay, then I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I am excited to one, get a little bit closer to the ending of this, just because it's dragging for so long, and two, it's always a fun book. It might not be the top 3 book, but it's always fun.
You gotta read Hulk. Like, you gotta read Hulk.
No.
He's doing
Conversation for a different time. Give us what you're looking forward to next week.
All right, next week I got 2 number 1s that are coming out that I'm very excited about. Being Savage, SpiderMan, and Excellent. The
Okay.
Excellent. Both have Scotty Young covers coming out, so you know I'm excited.
Nice.
And then finally, after feels like 2 months, Alien #9 is coming out. So super excited. That could potentially be my pick of the week. And yeah, that's what I'm really, really excited about.
Cool. I am excited for 2 books. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, but I'm excited for 2 primary books, and that's Chicken Devil #4, because it's been one of the most hilarious books that I've read. This book is fire. It is absolute fire. Hilarious, great action. I love it. It's just a fun book. It makes me feel good. It makes me laugh. The second book that I'm looking forward to, just because I hope that we get a buildup of the story, is Noctera. I enjoy Noctera. I'm happy
This
to
is issue 7, right?
issue 7. Yeah, I'm happy that it's back. I'm a huge fan of Val. I think that there's a lot of potential in Noctera, and I really do think that it's just getting started. So those are my 2 picks that I am mostly looking forward to. And real quick, coming at a close #3 is Batman 120, because again, I've been enjoying Batman so much. Joshua Williamson is building his Batman storyline. It's made my top pick of the week. So
you know what, man, you are absolutely right. I am so excited for Batman 120, specifically a certain variant cover coming out. You'll see it next week. 100% it's going to be my top cover next week. We'll see.
But are you getting it, or are you just a poser, man? Like, how?
I just said I'm getting it. It's coming out.
Oh, it's finally coming out.
All right, man. All right,
it's finally coming out.
See it next week.
This is timestamp. This is timestamp.
I'm gonna edit this out.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna edit it back in.
No, I honestly can't wait for that cover. So that's the show. That's everything. We're gonna be updating our brackets here pretty soon. You'll get to see an update of that in the next episode. I think that we had a pretty good show today. Hopefully everybody at home was entertained. They heard some good books. If we missed anything, please let us know in the comments. Of course, thank you for watching, and don't forget to be a hero and share this to your friends. Subscribe, do all those good things. But
drop a comment, hit the like button, and hit that bell.
Yes.
What he said. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.